and welcome to another creative session. Tonight, we're very lucky to have Aurora. And who is Aurora? Aurora is a certified life and career coach who guides in getting clear on the life and work you want and taking confident and courageous steps towards your vision. So, guys, life coach. So, parang big concept, no? Perhaps 5 years ago, but now, madami na yung life coach. But Aurora is actually one of those pioneers. And she also has a lot of writing background. I think in the past, she was also part of a publishing house. And ngayon, meron siyang mga different types of coaching sessions. And not only that, because she also came up with a lot of journals, one of which is the Sunday Night Journal, and the very first of which I have. So she now has five Sunday Night Journals. Iba-iba yon. And in this interview, you will know that this is one of her favorite works. Why? Because according to him, it's simple, it's very straightforward. And when you see it, you know exactly when and how to use it. And then she also has the Tiny Gratitude Journaling Kit and Good Job, a Meaningful Career Journal. So, guys, if you're very into getting to know yourself better, if you have a lot of challenges journaling, if you want to be coach about what you want to really have, what you want to really become, then watch this video and learn from a certified life and career coach. Let's all welcome Aurora Suarez. Good evening, everyone. Hi, and welcome again to the writing sessions. And this time, we have another creative with us. She's Miss Aurora Suarez, and she's going to share with us how it is to be a life coach and a career coach and many more. So she's also a creative like you guys and like all of us here. So, Aurora, can you share with us something about yourself?
Yeah. Hi, Jane, and hi, everyone who's watching. So I'm Aurora Suarez. I am a life and career coach. I also create journals and courses. I'm also the co founder of the Right Away Retreat, which is how I met Jane. And I'm a writer and speaker. Aside from that, I really dabble in a lot of creative activities. I knit, I write in my journals and decorate them. I've also done pottery. I make candles. I really do a lot of creative hobbies.
Right,
I'm so
right.
happy to be here as well. Thank you again,
Thank
Jane.
you. It's our pleasure that you shared your time with us. And actually, just to share with our audience, this is actually Aurora's work, the Sunday Night Journal, and I'm very happy to have a copy of this and it's signed. So this is one of my treasures. Thank you for that. Was it always your calling to become a life coach?
Yeah. So funnily enough, I was working in the publishing industry for the longest time, and for me, actually, that felt like my calling. I really thought that that was what I was going to do until I retired. But well, we know that the publishing industry really went through a big, uh, like just ginormous changes because of the rise of digital and all of that. So I
Mhm.
was working primarily in magazines, and I was also publishing books. So obviously the magazine landscape completely changed, and the magazines that I had worked with before are actually all completely gone. But
Mm.
before they actually disappeared, I had already left that company and became a coach. And the reason that I embarked on this path was I went through my own personal challenges in my life, and I was working with an amazing and very kind counselor. And when I emerged to the other side, I thought, oh my gosh, to be able to help people in this way, it's amazing. It feels so good, and it feels so fulfilling. And but I said, but I don't want to be a counselor because I don't want, it feels also very, very heavy and challenging as well. And I said, and I was on the internet and I found the brand new world at that time, brand new world of coaching. And I said, oh my gosh, helping amazing people become better than they already were. I thought that was it. That was what I was looking for. And so I feel like this is the path for me now, and it's been quite a fun and exciting 5 years of being a full-time life and career coach.
Wow, 5 years is actually a long time. Congratulations on that, and I'm sure madami ka nang natulungan because of that. How did it work during the pandemic? Did you encounter some challenges during that period? Kasi syempre, for you to become very effective as a life coach, usually it really requires personal touch and being there physically. So how did that challenge your career?
Actually, what was very funny was when I was training to be a coach. So I trained in the US,
Hmm.
and I always had this vision of like, like a therapist office, like in the movies where you actually have um, uh, a beautiful office with a couch, right, for your for your clients to lounge around in or to sit in. And what's really surprised me was that they told me, "Oh, all our sessions are online." And I said, "What? That's so weird." And they said, "No, it actually, if you think about it, coaching is actually a listening skill. You don't
Ah,
need to see their faces, you don't need to see their body language. You it is about listening intently." So actually, since I started, I've been actually holding all my sessions on Zoom. So I've been using Zoom even before the pandemic, and it's
okay.
no video. So no video. Again, it's really a listening skill. So it's really all about just our voices. So it's like going back to the olden days when we were on the phones with our girlfriends for hours.
Yeah. Wow, thank you for correcting me on that kasi I thought that it's very important for there to be physically present. When I was checking your website, kasi Aurora has a very good presence in the internet and you can subscribe to her newsletter so that you get all these updates about the work that she and services that's available, plus the very pretty journals that she's releasing every now and then. When I
Here.
was browsing it, yeah, I saw that there are lots of learning spaces that are already listed here. Like there's journaling for courage and confidence and crafting a life vision. Can you share with us some of these activities?
Yeah. So one of the things, well, that was one of the actually the gifts of the pandemic for me was actually discovering the world of doing online courses. So that was how the pandemic has also enhanced my my business. And so I started with working with one again another right away alumna. So she's a yoga teacher, and we decided to launch something on Zoom lang called the Tiny Self Care Retreat. And she introduced me to the world now of online courses. And she told me, what if we come up with a Tiny Self Care Retreat as a 7-day online course? So I said, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And so I actually did that. And then some of my offerings, like Craft a Life Vision, which was an email course, I converted it into an online course. And since last year, I've been actually since 2021, I've been doing journaling courses, which have been so amazing. So my first one was called Journaling for Wholeness. And then the second one, which I launched last year, was Journaling for Clarity and Confidence. So the Tiny Self Care Retreat and Craft the Life Vision are available anytime. But the journaling courses, I offer that at a certain periods during the year. And I let my newsletter subscribers and my Instagram followers know when they're available.
Mhm. In case merong corporates that would like to approach you and ask you to conduct a session with them, you're always open to that, right?
Yes, I've done a lot of corporate engagement, so I really tailor fit it to what the clients need. So whether it's unmotivated employees or having more creativity, or even thinking of jobs in a new way, I think that's something that always excites me, and it's always so fun to really create a custom workshop for corporate clients.
Right. Okay. And then when I was browsing your website, I noticed that there's a statement here. You're an amazing woman achiever. So please correct me if I'm wrong. Is it your different services and different engagements that you do are always focused on women, or do you also engage with men as the audience?
Yeah, so everything I do is for women. Yeah, so I find I'm first of all, I'm very inspired by women. I've worked with women all my life, and I guess it's, yeah, you could say it's my comfort zone, but it's also my strength, I feel, because also the language I use parang resonates more with women. I don't know how to adapt it to make it more masculine. So, and I'm really not, I mean, I feel like there's a wealth already of
Uh-huh.
resources and resources and coaches available for men, that I want to really focus my time and attention to women.
Uh-huh. Okay, okay. Very interesting. For your journals, kasi right now, I think you have the Sunday Night Journal, the Tiny Gratitude Journaling Kit, and then the Good Job, a Meaningful Career Journal. Which one is your favorite, and do we expect anything new for 2023?
Yeah. Okay. That, it's such a corny thing when people answer and they say, "Oh yeah, it's like I can't choose. I don't have a." It's like choosing a favorite child. Well, for me, the Sunday Night Journal is really my favorite. It's really has a special place in my heart because it was the first one, and yeah, and in fact, Jane, you're so lucky. You still
Yeah.
have the original one. I'll show you later the journals as well. So for me, the Sunday Night Journal really has a special place in my heart. It's the first, and I really feel that it was divinely inspired. It came to me basically in full form, like already, like as if it was, as if it was um already ready to go. And for me, I'm like, wow, like that is obviously, we know as creatives that is a very, very rare occurrence. It feels like
Right.
a gift. So it feels like a gift from the heaven. So for me, that's why the Sunday Night Journal, um it's so special. And I feel it's also not derivative. It's so clear what it is for, when to use it. It's not like how, you like how people say, like Austin Kleon says, great artists don't copy, they steal, right? So it's like getting ideas and making it your own, right? And that's cool, that's how everyone does it. But I feel that this one wasn't like that. It wasn't like, oh, I'm inspired by this and getting this. It was like, this is it. And so I feel like it's not derivative. It's not, it really just came to me like a gift, really.
Wow. Bihira yun actually for creatives. Kasi usually, well, there's, aside from the usual challenges in writing, there's always the writer's block then. And I'm sure that also happens to you din siguro. Um,
Yes, of course. Yes. Yeah, writer's block. I think it happens to everyone. Creative blocks, like this thing is not going the way I want it, or I'm bored with it. Yeah. So definitely.
yeah, you've conducted a lot of learning space sessions, no? So that means that I'm sure you've already helped a lot. And because of that, I'm pretty sure that you have inspired probably a good number already to also become life coaches like you. So
Yeah.
if ever someone approaches you and asks you, how, Aurora, how can I become one? What do I need to do? What are the characteristics that I need to possess in order to be an effective one? What advice are you going to give them?
Yeah, first I want them to understand why they're going to do it. So not just because it's the trendy thing, or yeah, usually it really comes when people embark on this path. It really comes from a very good intention. It really comes from a good place. I want to help people, but I really want to dig deep, like help people with what exactly, like how will they transform after working with you? What value are you going to add to the conversation? And then of course it's really, for me it's so important to get the proper training. I feel that now there are 4-day courses, 3-day courses to learn to be a life coach. I mean, that could work for you, but I also feel that it's a bit of a disservice for yourself and your clients to do it so quickly. Like my course took 10 months. So it took me almost a year to train, just to train and really get the hours in, to get my certification. So I feel that, finding the right training program that resonates with you, and that's also another important thing. And also think about really the woman or the man that you want to help. Who is he or she? What is he or she struggling with, and what will, where are they headed? Like what will change after they work with you? So I think those are just some questions. But for me, I feel there's room for all of us. It's a big world. It's There's a lot of people who want to be helped,
Mhm.
and I think it's really, there's really room for everyone. So I feel like I'm always encouraging people, yes, if that is where you're being called to do, or what you're being called to do now, then go for it.
Okay. Wow, 10 months.
Yes.
Um, yeah, you're right. Kasi usually I just see that parang crash courses, learn this in just a few days, and then something like that. But you're right, this service to your future clients, if you're not going with the full certification, and it really takes, di ba, you have to learn all that comes with it before
Right.
you get a certified life coach. Kasi baka mamaya mali yung mabibigay na coaching session, so that's gonna be an issue. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I think for me, what was so interesting as well with the coaching program I went to, is that she had this mindset that the coaching, it's not enough just to be a coach. You want, and it's not enough just to be a good coach. You want a business. You want a coaching business. So that was also the mindset that we had. It's not just, oh yeah, I'll learn to be a coach and then bahala na, and then I'll have as my side, it'll just be my side hustle and blah blah blah. For her, it was so important that I will give you all the tools that if you want to set up a coaching business, um you can and you should, that it, and she made it, it was, she made it like you really had to make the commitment, not just in terms of time but also in terms of the financial investment. Like there were no refunds, there were, so if you were like in the middle, oh my god, this is so hard, I don't want to do this anymore, voila, you're stuck.
Correct. Actually, good that you mentioned that kasi yung next question ko is about entrepreneurship na. Kasi syempre, of course, you need to be very passionate about what you do so that you'll be very effective and you'll inspire people. But of course, we also have other needs. And part of that is to ensure that we build a good business. So, how does it work? Kasi syempre, if you're going to do this full time, it means that you have to brand yourself. You really have to do marketing. And what if you have no background in marketing? So, can you give perhaps a few tips on how to launch a business that's very personal to you?
Right. Yeah. So I think, number one, I think come in with that mindset that this is a business. I think one of the things that shifted, I was working with a coach at that time, was that, because I was saying, oh yes, because I have plan B anyway. And she said, what if, what would change if you gave 100% to this? There is no plan B. This is it. And for me, that really changed, because if we're always thinking of plan B, plan C, you're always not going to take this seriously, or you're not gonna go all in, because you're like, well, I'll always can go back to corporate, I'll do consulting, which is really what I was doing in the
Mhm.
first few years, and then that really shifted. What would change in your business if you go 100% into it? And I think that is the thing that I want would be entrepreneurs to think
Mhm.
about, is this a side hustle, and that, and again, it's okay that it is, it's fine, or is this the business of your life and your heart?
Mhm.
So yeah, so I think that is something you need to clarify in your head. Number two, you think, especially if you come from the corporate world, you think, oh my gosh, success and revenues and profits, they work this way. But usually, if you come from the corporate world, you've been working for a while, and so you see that, that the progress, or you see the results come quicker. When you're starting things from scratch, it is not it does not work. So I think that was for me a big shock. So I would like to tell people that you really have to prepare a good financial cushion. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because, and that comes in with a third piece, which is the energy that you're putting out. Because if you don't have that good financial cushion, the energy you'll be putting out is desperation. I need to close you. I need to find clients. I need to, and that's what, and that is not an attracting. That is not an attracting energy. That is a repelling energy. Um, so I think having that safety net will then make you feel like, okay, I'm doing this because out of my desire to serve and love you. Yeah, and I guess the last is really for marketing. The amazing part is that there are so many tools now. So there is social media, there's newsletters, there's TikTok, there's so many tools. So I think for me, find the tool that resonates most with you. Like, I'm really only on Instagram and my newsletter. I'm not on Facebook because I just don't. I'm not. I'm really not on it. I don't dance. I'm not. I tried it, but and maybe I want to make a commitment to it this year. So maybe just doing TikTok, the non-dancing, non-dancing TikTok. But I think find the medium that resonates with you, and then really be clear about what makes you different. Be clear about who you're serving and who you want to reach, and just do it. It's really client by client. Serve that one client so well that she will keep coming back and she'll refer all her friends to you. That's exactly what happened with me. I had one client, her entire barcada became my client.
Wow. Word of mouth is really powerful.
And that was no marketing. That was just, in fact, for me, the when I started, the main marketing tool I used was telling people I was a life coach, and it was so
Mhm,
new that they were like,
mhm.
"Ano yun?"
Right.
So then it helped me talk about it, and they're like, "Ay, may kilala ko." So it was really like that, and then telling all my friends and family that, "Hey, I'm here. My business is open. Maybe you can refer people to me."
Yeah. I think you're the first person I met nga na life coach.
See, there
And
you go.
yeah, it was really interesting. And during the time, I was wondering, okay, what does a life coach do? I wasn't so sure then, but I really had to go to that right away session because I was in that place before where I wanted to meet writers as well. I wanted to meet mentors. I wanted to be at the right place at that right time. And to do networking, and that was really helpful for my writing career. So thank you, Aurora, for that.
Oh
So
my
guys,
gosh, thank you.
yeah, please visit her website. You're going to see a lot of courses there, and I'm sure you're gonna be interested in at least one. So Aurora, let me just ask you, kasi on your website, there's something here that strikes me. Craft a life you love.
Right.
But what if somebody approaches you and tells you that I'm not yet sure what kind of life I want? So, is there any learning space session already available that can tailor to that?
Yeah, craft the life vision is one of them, and of course, a coaching session with me is one of them. Yeah,
Yes.
I used to do during the pandemic a craft a life you love workshop, but I'm rethinking whether I want to continue it. We'll see how that goes. But basically, for me, a very very simple tip about how to craft the life you love is really, let's start usually, and this is easier, let's start with maybe making a list of what don't I love in my life anymore. So yan yung mas pinakamadali, like what don't I love in my life na. and
Mm-hmm.
make a list of that. And then after you see that list, look at the opposite, because the opposite is then what you love. So for example, I'm tired of being stressed. I don't want to be stressed anymore. What is the opposite of stress? Is it more peaceful? Is it more time for your hobbies? Is it feeling, so just having that, that is that's a very simple way. And then from there, being very intentional about
Mm-hmm.
choosing activities and habits that support the thing that you want.
Wow, actually, that's a very great tip. I might just do that. And guys, that's actually a free session right there. So if you
Right.
did it really
Yeah,
well,
that's
just
my entire workshop in 2 minutes.
yeah, that's really nice. Thank you for that. I'm just wondering, are there depressed people who also approach you? Kasi when I look at the website and check the courses, it seems like they're always uplifting people, but it's not focused on negativity. So therefore, there's nothing there that you can read about depression or anything, or the S word, and nothing like that. It's all very positive. So are there also people approaching you telling you that I'm at this point in my life where I don't like what's happening and I'm this close to losing losing my head? What course can I take? How can you help me on that? And how do you respond?
Yeah, so usually, yeah, that's actually the first thing we learned in our coaching school, was really how to that differentiate between mental health challenges and coaching. So I don't handle mental health challenges.
Okay.
When someone comes to me with mental health issues such as depression and all of that, I usually refer out and I say, or I say, I think this thing needs to be healed first, and
Okay.
come back to me when you're healed. Because so again, just
Mm.
to differentiate, a therapist or counselor, and again, this is simplifying, very very simple,
Mhm.
but for me, and this was what was explained to me, and for me it really stuck, and I really like the explanation, is the therapist and counselor is really there for your past. It's to help heal your wounds, okay, and that's who you go to for healing.
Okay.
And including, and depression is a sickness, so that's then you go there to be healed. A coach is someone who's forward, future looking. So if therapist and counselor is about the past, a coach is for your future. So how can we get to the place you want to be in?
Mm.
Yeah. So, like for example, like let's say, so my husband's watching Breakpoint on Netflix. So it's all about tennis greats, right? So Rafa is there.
Mhm.
And so Rafa, if he has a broken ankle, will not go to his coach and
Mhm.
say, fix this for me. Rafa will go to a doctor and say, fix my broken ankle,
Mhm.
and heal that. Then, but he will go to his coach and say, make me the best tennis player in the world.
Oh, okay. Wow, very clear and very good analogy. Thank you for that again. I'm learning so much from this interview. So, Aurora, where else can we find you? You mentioned kanina Instagram and your website. Is there anywhere else we can contact
Um,
you?
yeah, that those are the easiest ways to contact me. So on Instagram, I'm at your heart crafted life. My website is auroramsuarez.com. And then yeah, all my courses, my journals are all there. And yeah, and that's really where you can find me. It's
Okay.
easiest way. Yeah.
Okay. And then you have the Begin Again 2023. So, I think that's already ongoing, but do you plan on releasing perhaps during the middle of the year another session for that?
So begin again. I do it at the beginning of the year. Yeah, I don't usually do another session, so it's really done in January, and
Okay.
then every January that's when we do it. But actually, you can again, as I always tell my participants, you can begin again anytime. But for me, I really like using this New Year energy to kind of maximize. I mean, of course, we all know time is human construct, but it really helps with this whole using up that energy, that gung ho energy of, oh, I want to make this a better year for me. I want to begin again. And so, but if I do it in March, it's like no one is interested in, or in June, they're like, middle of the year na, parang napapagod na ako or whatever. So I really, it's a very intentional that I do it in January lang.
Okay. Thank you for that, Aurora. And I believe ako and all of the viewers right now learned a lot from this interview session with you. Thank you for gracing us with your presence, and I hope we can invite you again soon. Siguro kapag meron ka na ulit bagong journal, or if you're launching another coaching session, talking to you actually makes me want to sign up immediately to your next class. I've learned the difference about coaching and yung resolving your past issues. I thought kasi that they're somehow interrelated, and then I can just go to straight to you, but very good points that you mentioned there. Aurora, can you tell us about your other journals, and perhaps you can share it to the audience?
Yeah. So this is the Sunday Night Journal. So this is my favorite one. This is volume 5. So what Jane showed you earlier is volume 1. So it has come a long way since then. So this is the 5th volume, and I launched it last October. And so yeah, so this is what's available now. And again, it's a 52-week journal and planner and self-care ritual, so that you can really start your week with positivity, purpose, and gratitude. So the whole intention behind this is so that you can say goodbye to the Sunday night scaries and the Monday morning blues. So yeah, so that's a Sunday night journal. And then I also, during the pandemic, launched the Good Job, a meaningful career journal. So
Mhm.
this one has a lot of prompts about really designing the career you love. So a lot of questions. It's all prompts about really what matters to you in your career. So my intention for doing this is really to provide career clarity, and I
Mhm.
think that's such an important piece, is really getting clarity about what you want, so you enter the next job that you want, knowing what matters to you, and knowing what you really want to do next, or what your strengths are, and how you can add value to an organization. So that's Good Job. And last year I launched the Tiny Gratitude journaling kit. So it's a kit that comes with stickers and postcards, and it's really adorable. So this is my filled up kit already. This is my filled up journal. So and the whole idea, again, my intention behind this is really to remind you to be grateful, because for me gratitude is really a life changing habit, and the usual way people tell you, like how Oprah recommends, we write down 5 things we're grateful for every day. But I decided to change it up a little, because sometimes it gets repetitive and you don't actually feel the gratitude anymore. So I changed it up by doing little prompts on the top, so
Mhm.
that you can feel more gratitude, and you can look at your life through the eyes of gratitude, instead of looking at it through the eyes of, oh, everything's going wrong, and my life is not great, etc., etc.
Right.
So those are the 3 little journals that I have.
Yeah, I'm excited to grab one or all three.
Yeah, so thank you.
Thank you. So, guys, again, thank you for watching us, and of course, Aurora, we have here. We're very pleased to have you here. So, can you say goodbye to the audience?
Yeah, so thank you, Jane, again for inviting me to be part of this awesome conversation tonight. It was so wonderful to be here. And I hope you guys had a good time as well viewing this video and our conversation. And I hope you guys got something out of it. So it's the start of the year, and I'm wishing you all a magical and wonderful year ahead.
Thank you so much, Aurora. Till next time. Bye, everyone.